Hello all, back again on the Mech. Um, from last time, it had a few changes made to it, and still finding little flaws. Um, what I wanted to do was get the thrusters out of the interior space, get a door in place, and get the thrusters all somewhere on the body so this thing can move. Another thing I wanted to address was the landing gear on the feet. Um, these have been done already, and it actually worked out pretty good. So this thing docks now. Let me hop in here real quick, take off. So what I did down on the feet was I put in these landing gear, and they're embedded in a block. But when it lands, it actually works. I wasn't sure if this was going to happen or not. So these come down and it does dock. So then it can rest nicely on the feet. So I got some side thrusters in over here. Two left, two right. Got some down thrusters over here. I didn't really like what I did here, but I didn't have a lot of choices. So we have some down thrust there, lift thrust on the feet, and then forward and reverse thrust in this middle torso area. So it all works now. In fact, I can go flying around. Yay! I have a flying mech. It's not very fast. But we will land this again here. Maybe. Oh, now it wants to not land. Come on. There it goes. Now we're docked. Cool. So it is movable. One thing I said on the last tutorial on this is I wanted to replace the guns with antennas or something. Then I realized that, guess what? SVs and HVs don't have antennas, so I don't really have anything to replace them with. So maybe they will stay, but that would really drive up the cost of this. But it actually does work now. Not that I would ever think about using it for anything really, but I definitely would want these parked outside of my base just to be cool if I was trying to show off or whatnot. So yeah, this part is about detailing and coloring and all that fun stuff. So I already got the color palette in here, and thanks to Doom Noodle for giving me heads up on how to do that right. So now I've got this saved color palette over here, and I can just import them in real quick rather than going to a different ship and stealing the colors. And then, yeah, well, God, where to start? It's always a pain to start. It's like, where do you want the lights, the darks? And sometimes it takes a little bit to figure that out. But the base color would be probably this whitish gray up here, and then the dark color would be over here, and then these are just a lot of alternatives. So here, let's get some symmetry rolling first here. There we go. And to save a little time, I'm going to have it do the whole block at this time. Things that don't work out will change later. So, yeah, I think I'll start with going some white. And this is, when I'm doing this too, I'm also kind of taking a good look at the textures to see if I can come up with something to replace current textures, maybe add some kind of detail. It doesn't always happen, but sometimes. Okay, so we've got that in white. Let's try to go dark with this center section. Except maybe that piece. And this would probably be white as well. So how about dark here? Alright, so the feet. How should that be done? Thinking about branching off into a different shade. Kind of a medium gray. Okay. Try those in black. How about a different gray here? And the more builds I do, the more I try to get in different shades of color. I didn't used to do this, but going from a gray to a white to a black and all over the place, I think it looks better in the end. It's a little more work. You got to think about it a little bit more, but I think it's worthwhile. Alright, guess I already did that. Maybe some dark there too. And up here. Looking at these, I don't particularly like this little angled block I got here. Thinking maybe try to find something else to put there or nothing at all. What would fit there though? That's a good one. Not much. I got one idea though. This weird block here is kind of neat. Maybe. Oh. Of course, now I'm totally screwing this up here. There we go. Once in a while I have a brain fart when I'm rotating blocks. It happens. Probably a lot more brain farts than that too. Hey. Alright, so the center area, God, maybe off color again? Or should this just be darker? Probably darker. How about this other gray? This area here is a little weak looking too. It just looks like it needs more. Here, I'll just make this brighter for now. That should be this color. Trying to have some kind of separation here. That's why I'm trying to keep this dark. Maybe I should just go the same. Oh, missing a texture here too. Alright. So I got that gray in the middle. I think I'm going to go back to white with it. Or how about that tone, this tone. Okay, now here, do that a little different shade. See, I got two of these. I was going to put like a caution symbol on one of these, but now I got two. I don't know if that's a good idea. Here, I'll tell you what, we'll do that one like that. Alright. Alright, so we have a colored foot. Let's move up the line here. I guess the same idea with this. What if we did that here? The only thing I don't like to do, but I still do occasionally, is this dark gray that I use for a black. It does make the lighting look kind of meh. But it's not too bad. So this area here I think is a little busy. So I'm thinking maybe to tone it down some. And maybe get rid of these lights that are here. Let's get this vent a little bit different tone. You know what? I'm thinking this should be white right there. Otherwise it kind of messes up the shape of the part. Alright. So far so good. I still keep on thinking about trying to add some kind of guard or cover over this joint and try to conceal it, because technically what I would want this joint to really be is kind of a little bit more of a swivel, so the leg could bend out or bend in a little bit when it was walking. Not that I was ever going to walk, but just saying in reality, yeah, like we have a lot of these big mechs running around. But in the movies, you do see some curvature there where these legs can have some free reign going left and right, just like humans walk. Alright, but I still don't know exactly what would look good here. Kind of thinking on that right now, though. Let me dive into these parts here. See if there's something. Hmm, not sure on that. But I do like these parts. I don't see them get used a whole heck of a lot on a lot of creations out there, and I didn't used to use them either until I seen a couple people others or a couple other creations out there that got into these, and it does add some detail. I think it really does. Well, I'll keep what's there for now. Could get changed yet. Alright, so now the joint. Whoa, I think I hit a button on my mouse here that just screwed up my controls. There we go. And it's got a DPI setting on the mouse, so I bumped it. I don't think that ought to be black. Maybe I ought to just leave this gray. And then continue on to like the whites over here. Alright, and tone down white for that. Hmm. Center section, should that be white or dark? I don't know. Pretty much like trying to paint it like they're individual parts and try to get them separated so they look right that way, but it takes a lot of trial and error. It's different, maybe. See how it looks when it's all together here, I guess. Ooh, not sure what happened there. Again, a little on the busy side over here. Now that's way too many lights. Get rid of the top ones with something. Oh, just blank it out, I guess. Hmm. Maybe. Alright, well, I think that'll work. Ooh, untextured area up there. Oh, such a pain. There we go. Okay. Might have overdone it with this lighting thing here too. Might tone that back maybe. Alright, so that's kind of the torso coloring, more or less. So now the head. Kind of cool to have like a tone stripe on here. It's one of the only things you can do with these angles to make it look nice, I think. See if I can remember how to do this tinting thing here. I think it was really, nope, not that button. I had to go to, what was it, change rotate, and just click on it. Yes. Ah, thanks, Doom Noodle. That really, really helps. Heck, on a different comment, he Doom Noodle told me how to fix that tinting issue I always had and didn't know it could be fixed. Little did I know. Okay. This area, I was thinking, trying this medium gray. Oh, where am I? Let's go dark on these. How that convert over. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe this ought to be alt white. Oh, but I do like the dark lines on the back. Decisions, decisions. Well, hmm. Okay. Events. Alright. there. Alright, so these pieces now. I kind of like what you can do with these curved and thin blocks like that. I might do like a highlight on that. Actually, let's try that. So say we go light here. And then we go dark. Oh, pain in the butt. Again, trying to like separate parts with this to make them look like a little bit different. Okay, the insides. Don't know if I'm liking, well, that's not too bad, but is there anything else that could look better? I don't know. So what if just the front edge was that color, and then it went white just beyond that? I think that might look better. And I could go dark here, or a medium. Yeah, I know some of the stuff you just never see. Like that. Alright. Get it or not? Yeah, I guess I did. Getting a little bit busy here. Okay. So now to address these pieces here. Say wow, that's a mess in there. No, it's rotated wrong. That should do it. If this was lighter, here we're just gonna apply the whole block, and then color those. Maybe. Alright. Oh, and these parts here too. Okay. Alright, one last piece. should that be? Hmm. Let's try dark. Or two-toned. About just gray there. And the insides here, I think, pain in the butt, but it's kind of messy in here too. Oops. Oh yeah, this front area too. Hmm. And dark again, maybe. Or I don't know about that white in the middle. I think I'm getting a little too stripy with it. Yeah, I guess the stripy patterns I got going on here might be a bit much. Hmm. Alright, so basic coloring. Let's try to do some decal enhancements in places. I'll start with the simplest of things, the traditional caution symbols. And I gotta have caution symbols, otherwise people, oh man, more problems. Try that again. Oops. Okay. I don't really want to do another caution symbol here because there's one there. What if... doesn't really do it much either. For now. So this area here, definitely want to try to dress this up one way or another. I do not know. That does kind of work. Yeah. Not too sure on that. Thinking I want to do something different with the blocks here. For better or worse. That do anything? It's weird. I think what my issue is it's almost like these are going up one square higher than I would like them to. Oh, what a mess. Okay, that still works. trying to get as much detail as I can in these parts. God, maybe that should be dark there. Just trying to think if there's anything else I could do to get something more in there. I don't think this would look good. Not really. Hmm. Yeah, this part takes a little while. A lot of times too, I'll be working on something else, and then I'll come back and I'll see something that's like, hey, maybe I could do this here. Right now, I'm just kind of looking for things to tweak, and sometimes I find them, and sometimes I don't. For now. Probably have a couple more dots or something up here too. Try not to overdo it, but I like that little accent of white. You know, it just got that solid black area, and then you paint like a little detail line there. Makes the whole thing look a little more detailed, in my opinion, at least. You know, these parts inside of here too. Hmm. All right, these vents. Now these technically should still work, the non-airtight vents. Alpha 10, I've heard that thrusters now have to have infinite space between, you know, shooting outside. So I have some designs that I've made that don't do that, so they're going to break, like the Anubis AT. That one has thrusters kind of embedded in it. They're separated and they're exposed, but it was a method to make them stronger, so harder to hit. But I think that's going to be a thing of the past now. Oh, one other thing I wanted to try here on this border is maybe some color, just a tad. I don't know if that's going to do it any justice or not. I keep on debating whether or not it should be dark inside these housings on the front too. I don't know about the red. Anyway, ooh, oh, here's something I could do. Just about ready to wrap this up. I think it's getting there, and I think you get the point on the second process here of getting it colored and some decals and things like that. Um, there's not a lot left except the interior on this. I think other than that, it's mostly finished. And this thing actually does function, I guess. So that's another thing. Should I keep these expensive guns on it that are going to require, you know, zirconium and whatnot? It's going to drive the price up. Also, should I convert it? Now, currently it is hardened steel. Um, should it be carbon substrate? Or should I keep it kind of real and so it can actually take a few hits? Maybe. But then again, are you going to really do anything with this besides park it? I don't know. Lots of choices to make. If you got any good ideas in the comments, please let me know. I'm not sure what I should exactly do with this. I like it, but it's one of them things that's just kind of a gimmick, I guess. Yeah, I do this with all my stuff. Once I get it to a point where I think it's done, I've learned to not like go ahead and release it right away, but to sit on it for a little while. Maybe, not a long time, but and look at it a few more times, or start taking screenshots of it, and then see how the screenshots look, and then sometimes you'll see things. It's like, hey, maybe it, this would look good, or if I change this, this would look good. The whole point is just trying to get that detail in there. So even at this state, I could probably still spend another half hour, 45 minutes on tweaking out things on the body or adding little details. Subtle little things like that. Still not sure on the red trim. Maybe that should just be black, or another color I could try is just plain old gray. I thought about doing the same thing on the insides here. Should have just colored the whole block here. So that version versus that version. I don't know, I think this one looks a little more military-like than the red striped version. So I think I'm going to go with that. Another thing I do with most of my creations too is the areas inside the thrusters. Now this one doesn't have much going on with that. Some ships do have a lot, and I like to get inside these areas even though you don't see them much. And well, in this case it's not, with those kind of thrusters you don't see that too much. But and texture, like the inside housings. If the thrusters ever get blown out, or if they're a thruster that you can kind of see through a little bit, it's nice to see that stuff textured on the inside too. I always did try to do that. I think I've missed a couple creations over time though, and didn't get something textured inside a thruster area. And a lot of times I'll just remove the thrusters to do it, which is easier than trying to paint when they're still in there. Although you can kind of do it, it's just, you know, a pain in the butt. Still might modify this area a little bit. I think I could get those to look a little bit better. Well, okay. You all have yourselves a good day, and I guess I don't know if I'm going to do a tutorial on the interior on this. I probably could. You know, it's small enough. It wouldn't take that long. I don't want to do it right at this moment, though, because these uploading these videos takes a long time. That's why I've been trying to keep them short. Maybe eventually I'll try to get into the Twitch streaming kind of thing. Right now I'm just trying to get some practice doing this stuff. And well, anyway, I will get this out to the workshop at some point. I'm not sure when yet. I've got a lot of things to release, so it's in queue. Now, one other thing I have been working on that I haven't done much with, well, I've been working on quite a bit, is a space station for Excalibur's challenge. That I don't want to show yet because it's not far enough along to really get a good idea on what it's going to be. It's sort of some framing, and I'm making heavy changes to it yet. So I will reveal that on probably the next video that I do, which might be the interior of this mech. Okay, well, you all have a good day. See you later.